Today's video topic is things to bring in Canada when you land here for the very first time. The primary focus of this video is students, but even if you are a permanent residency holder and you are coming and landing in Canada for the very first time, this video is for you. So make sure you watch till the end. To begin with, I have divided this video into 4 categories. The first one is clothing, the clothes you need to bring in Canada. And then electronics, gadgets like mobiles, your laptop, and then food and utensils that you need to bring in Canada. And the last section is others, the other things that are really important that you need to bring in Canada when you land here for the very first time. So let's begin with our very first section, that is clothing. And under the very first point, I'm putting 6 t-shirts. So I'm just saying that, bring 2 week worths of t-shirts, even if they get dirty and you don't get time to wash your t-shirts for 1 week. So you can survive the next week with those t-shirts. And the second point is, make sure you bring 3 shirts. Like, for example, it can be casual, it can be farmer shirts. Then make sure you also bring 4 jeans. I would say 2 blue jeans, 1 black jeans, and 1 any of other shades jeans that you like. And make sure to bring 2 formal trousers too, that would go with your shirts. And for formal events that happens in Canada, make sure you also bring 1 suit for the formal events. Any formal events in Canada, any party, people usually wear suits. So make sure you bring 1, even for after you finish your studies, or if you're looking for your very first job for the interview purpose, you will be wearing mostly suit. And then 6th point, I'm putting 2 traditional garments. That can be anything. If you are from any other country other than India, bring your traditional garments, because in India I know what their traditional garments is, like kurta pajama, maybe dhoti. So bring your 2 traditional garments for the traditional events that happens in your community in Canada, so that way you will feel more welcome in Canada. Also make sure you bring your undergarments. That again goes for your personal needs, how often you use undergarments. And the 8th point, I'm putting 2 running or regular shoes. Make sure that you bring 2 pairs of shoes. That can be either running shoes, regular shoes, walking shoes, whatever. 9th item is 1 formal shoes. It doesn't matter, it can be black or either blue. So make sure you bring 1 formal pairs of shoes, because you're gonna need it with your 2 formal trousers and with your suit. And at the 10th, others clothing items like flip-flops, socks, handkerchief, that depends on your personal needs. So do bring them too. And now let's talk about the clothing items that you don't need to bring from your own country. That is listed under my 11th point, winter wears. That are winter jackets and winter shoes. So don't bring any types of jackets and shoes and from your country, because they might not be suitable in Canada weathers. Hoodies and caps, it's up to you. You can buy it from your own country or you can buy it from Canada. It doesn't matter where you buy from. Now let's move to our second section of the video, which is electronics. And the very first gadget here I'm putting is laptop. People often ask that whether they should bring laptop from India or whether you should purchase it from Canada. So what I'm saying here is, if you have a laptop in your own country and you already have it and it's running all right, why not bring that laptop in Canada? It doesn't matter, right? And the second thing is, if you haven't purchased a laptop yet, you don't own any laptop, so I would suggest that you should buy a laptop from Canada. Because imagine if anything goes wrong with your laptop, right, which you have purchased from your own country, how are you going to get warranty for that? So if you have bought your laptop in Canada, it's easier to get warranty in Canada. And also there's one more point. First, invest or spend some time in your course, maybe 1 month or 2 months, and see if you actually need a laptop or not, because there are some courses that you can easily survive without purchasing any laptop. And the second most often asked question is whether they should bring or you should bring mobile from your own country or in Canada. I'm from India, so I brought my same mobile from India and it works perfectly fine here. So mostly phones like of Samsung's, Google Nexus and all other phones mostly work in Canada without doing any unlocking or anything. But there are certain phones, certain model numbers that do not work in Canada. So make sure you check those individually. That's up to you, because I cannot put the list of all the mobiles that work in Canada. And on the other side, if you don't own a mobile yet, purchase your mobile phone in Canada, because you will get some different student discount schemes, and you would have an option to either buy it via cash, or you can also do a contract. The third one is trimmer. If you have already trimmer in your country, you can bring that one. If you need one in Canada, you can buy it here. USBs goes for the same, like you can either buy it from Canada or from India, doesn't matter. And then the wires, all the charging cables, all the USB cables, I would suggest that buy it from your own country, because in Canada you won't have the time to buy them. I mean, we do have dollar stores in Canada, but still I would highly suggest that you do all this kind of shopping in India, in your own country where you live. Now let's talk about the third section, foods and utensils. So I'm from India, so I'm gonna put the Indian things that I know that Indian students should bring. If you are from China, if you are from Mongolia, any other country, right, Pakistan, make sure you just correlate these things with your own food, and then you can decide what are the things that you need to bring in Canada. So the very first point is spices, masalas, noodles. So I'm just saying that bring all the spices that you can, like maybe all the masalas, MBD, like chicken masala, tea masala from your own countries, and noodles for very first days, like by purchase 3 or 4 packets of Maggi or whatever, right? The second point is koa, pinia, panjiri. Again, this is an Indian dish. The benefit of this dish is that it can last for a very long time, so you can bring those. And then pickles, bring it from your own country. I'm gonna also suggest you that bring 1 week worth of sugar. Make small pouches, small cover wraps, whatever, right? Make 1 week worth of sugar, tea, coffee, whatever you drink, salt, pepper, ginger, garlic paste, cumin seeds, turmeric powder, etc. Whatever you put in your food, bring at least 1 week worth of that, right? So when you land in Canada, if you don't have time to purchase those, at least you have some already sitting in your bag, right? Then now let's come to utensils. So I would say buy 2 plates, bring 2 plates or trays, whatever you call them, from your own country. Buy 2 spoons or forks or chopsticks from your own country. Then 3 bowls, 1 knife, 1 pressure cooker, 1 regular pot to make tea, 1 heavy based pan to make vegetables or to cook any like spaghetti or anything, and then 1 pan to make chapatis. Now let's move to the next section, which is other. Here I am gonna list all the items that I feel like really important when you land in Canada to bring from your own country. The very first is documents. Make sure you bring all the documents, your visa, your passport, your fees receipt, your mark sheets, transcripts, IELTS score, on any other kinds of documents like your birth certificate. So later in the day, later in time, if you need those documents, you don't have to ask your parents, parcel me this, parcel me that. So it's a good idea to bring all the documents at once from your own country when you land here for the very first time in Canada. So the second point is driving license and driving experience letter. So make sure if you have a driving license, get a driving experience certificate from your own country. What's the benefit of that is here the driving license is divided into 3 categories: G1, G2, and the final is G. So G1 is just a written test, then G2 is a driving test, and then G is a highway test, right? So if you bring your driving experience letter from your own country, you don't have to give G2 test. You can directly skip from G1 to G and you can get a G license directly. The third is bed sheets and pillow cover. So make sure you bring your 2 bed sheets and 1 pillow cover, because bed sheets get dirty and then you have to wash them and stuff. Then also make sure you bring your toothbrush, toothpaste, soap, shampoo, conditioner, moisturizer, and etc. Like the small pouches. Not like I'm not saying like buy a 2-liter shampoo. I'm just saying that for the first month or maybe first few weeks, buy this stuff, hair oil and stuff. And then the next section is towel, nail clipper or cutter, whatever you call it, comb, etc. Buy these things